Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Stephanie Liu from Lights Camera Live, where we shine a spotlight on the best and brightest marketers in the industry. In today's episode, I'm talking to Savanna Decompress, the Director of Marketing over at FLUXX nightclub here in San Diego. So if you're in the nightclub industry and you want to know how one of the hottest nightclubs in San Diego is actually winning on social media, this is definitely an episode that you want to check out. All right, let's do this. So let's get started, boo.
Okay, cool.
All right, so let's see here. Let me get my screens up. I have like all these screens. All right, Savannah, boo. Okay, so we met at the San Diego Tourism Authority, and it was hilarious because I didn't even know that I was supposed to be there. Tyler had hit me up. Tyler had hit me up like 2 days before and was like, hey, I need someone that knows social media to be there. Right now, we only have two guys that does sales, and then I've never been to a San Diego Tourism Authority thing, so I didn't know who was going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And if you remember, I was sitting on stage and I was like, who here does social media? And it was like 5 hands went up. And of course, obviously, you put your hand up.
Right.
And then afterwards, you and I had bumped into each other. You're like, I do social media too. And there's just like this instant connection where it's like, yes, yes.
Right.
I love.
I know. Like watching you on stage, I was like, my girl. We need to talk later.
No, yeah. And then when you were telling me that you were doing FLUXX, I was like, shut up. FLUXX is like the. See, that's the thing. You can't curse on.
I know, right?
You can't. Well, you can. But the funny thing is that sometimes my mom watches it and she's like, girl. And
Right.
she has like this little like Filipino accent. She's like, you can't do that. And I'm like, oh, okay, mom. Anyway, so this is all about you. Tell everyone how you became the director of marketing for FLUXX because everyone's like dying to know at this point.
All right. Well, yeah. So I basically started off as the office manager, and I hit the jackpot because I found the position on Craigslist. Which is like very rare, especially for this industry. And then I basically was like, read the description and was like, oh my God, this is the job for me. Showed up with a whole binder, actually, of
What?
like, yeah, it's like still to this day kind of like a running joke. I had a whole binder of everything I'd ever done professionally in my life, and was just like, here you go, here's all my samples, everything. Like, I'm the girl for this job. And then pretty much like a week later, I got a call back being like, yeah, so we're gonna hire you.
Yeah.
And then basically, I worked my way from office manager up to director of marketing after about half a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Wait, so what was in this binder? Because everyone's always asking me, like, how do you prepare for interviews? What do you need to have? Like, I know everything from an agency experience, but what about what you do? And don't mind me, I'm actually fixing your screen right now.
Oh, that's fine. So basically, I started this binder with an internship that I worked for in college while I was getting my master's, and it was for a marketing company called Bow Stern.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, I started there with any copy that I wrote for them, press releases,
Oh, wow.
just like a few clips of social media calendars that I had made, and then just sort of kept developing that binder throughout the years.
That's
So it's
nice.
basically just a collection of anything that's ever possibly been published or been put out into the digital world,
Yeah.
then anything print that I can keep. I always try to keep like one flyer or any print materials that go out. I try and keep one of something. That way I just have it for my own little collection.
Wow.
So yeah, that's definitely a helpful tip. Bring a binder.
No, okay. And I love that you mentioned that because when I was working at my last agency at IDEA, we had this PR gal, and she came in for the PR/social internship, and her name was Lauren. And just like you, she brought like this big ass binder of everything that she's ever done because she was a fashion blogger. And I was like, slay queen! Like, oh my
Right?
gosh! I was like, I love that experience. So your your recommendation for sure is like show your experience on paper. Just don't talk about it. Show it.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
Okay.
do it like the first time too. That way they don't have to wait around for it. Like they're not following up being like, oh, can I get samples or can I do this? Like if you
Yeah.
just have it all right there, ready to go, then they're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay,
So at
all
what
right.
point would you say that you stop filling in this binder?
Well, I haven't stopped yet.
Oh, really? Even at a
Yeah,
director
no,
level, you're
still, I
still
mean, yeah, I still just collect things constantly. any random things that we do for FLUXX, I add to it. Like last year we threw a Star Wars party and I ended up actually getting like a pretty decent amount of media coverage for it because it was just random and fun. And same thing with Cinco de Mayo, we did our first Lucha Libre event where we turned the dance floor into a wrestling ring and pretty much had these wrestlers come from Mexico and put on an entire Lucha Libre wrestling show. So it was like anything like that that's just random and fun and I can just throw in there, I just keep adding to it.
Oh, I love that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wait. Why did you do the Star Wars? Was it for Comic Con or was it for
So no, it was random. Well, not random, but it was right when the movie was released. It was
Oh,
the
gotcha,
weekend
gotcha.
they were releasing the movie, and there was actually a lightsaber battle in San Diego. So we were there
How did
after.
I miss this? What?
Yeah, it was seriously so much fun. It was like a random Friday night last. I want to say it was last December, and we gave out free movie passes for the best dressed Star Wars characters.
Uh-huh.
So it was like a fun costume party. I ordered 1,000 lightsabers and we gave out lightsabers to every single person that came in. So it was like probably one of the funniest nights we've had in the nightclub for sure.
Okay, shut up. Okay, so the next time
I
you're
know,
doing
right?
something super, Star Wars geeky like that, hit me up. I know that the next movie comes out in December. My husband was
Is
playing
it
that.
this December?
I think so, yeah. It's like Rogue One. Okay, I'm totally
Oh
geeking
yeah.
out on you.
Maybe we'll redo it then. And then I'll invite you. You can show up.
Yeah.
Give us your best Princess Leia outfit.
Oh my god. Oh, girl, trouble. Well, oh yeah, we talked about this. So since Savannah's showing off her shoulders, I'll do
Oh
my
yeah.
stuff too.
That girl.
It's like it's a Tuesday. It's a
Yeah.
Tuesday. Okay. All right. So tell me about everything that you oversee at FLUXX because when you first answered this question for me, I was like, no freaking way. So tell me everything that you do.
So basically everything involved with online marketing, print marketing, distributing any of our print materials, all of our social media, web maintenance, anything with community outreach or local partnerships,
Wow.
and event ticketing to HR and payroll. I
What?
mean, yeah.
How does HR and payroll get under you as well?
Well, remember how I said I started as the office manager?
Oh.
Some of those things didn't go away.
Oh man.
So
So
yeah, the job has just kept evolving and kept evolving.
that's crazy. That's crazy. So
Yeah.
then how do you stay organized with everything that you have to do?
I have lots of folders, binders, folders in my emails, post-it notes, highlighters, color coordinating everything.
So you're saying that if an intern ever wanted to work for you, they need to show up with a binder and a little gift basket for you with binders, dividers, and post-it notes and just be like, here, I will organize this for you.
Yeah, that would definitely get them the job for sure.
That's
Like
good.
basically my assistant now in her interview was like, yeah, I love filing. And I was like, yeah, you're my
Filing.
girl.
You're hilarious. I know. So Katarina. Okay, so Katarina is she just left a comment. She said so many responsibilities.
I know.
Katarina is a student over at UCSD. I met her ever at Phi Beta Lambda. And so she's interning and she's definitely asking me a lot of questions too, like how do I get my foot in the door? All this like how do you get your foot in the door in the nightclub scene right now?
So sometimes we offer internships. It just depends on what you want to do and sort of what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely say trying to get in the nightclub so you know how it works if you never worked in it before. So starting as maybe a door girl or a cocktail waitress or something to just sort of have that little bit of experience helps.
Yeah.
If not, I mean, it just depends on which route you want to go. So I know, we don't really offer the the typical school internships,
Yeah.
but we have helped employees that have wanted to learn more or they graduate and want to try and come on. But RMD Group, so we had partnered with RMD Group and they offer a lot of different internships too to sort of get your foot in the door. They have internships where you can sort of pair up with different people too to get sort of exposure to all the different positions. So you
Yeah.
could be with a nightclub manager one day, you could be with the events coordinator another week, you could be with the accounting department. So I would say just sort of trying to get in with the industry people and make yourself known is definitely the
Yeah.
best way. It's all about networking, especially, I mean, no matter what you're doing, it's all about networking.
That's very true. That's very true. So, Katarina, if you're interested, Suvar's another friend of mine. He's a baller. I'm sure he always goes to FLUXX.
I know I'm like trying to read the comments at the same
I know
time.
it's like do this, do that. Yeah, Rob McGee is actually one of the guys I used to work with over at the Idea Brand. He still works with me now. He knows like how I'm so like process oriented, gotta get stuff done, especially when you work at an agency. So it's crazy.
Right.
Okay, so you obviously oversee a lot at
Mhm.
at FLUXX. Are you automating everything, or is everything being done manually? Like, how are you doing all of this? Because you're on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter. What else am I missing?
YouTube, Google
Oh,
Plus.
wait,
So yeah,
what was after
we're
YouTube?
Google Plus.
Still?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just that one's more of a loop from our YouTube, so it pulls all of our videos and picture albums, just sort of to get that out there again.
Yeah. So you're
But
recycling it.
I definitely schedule for Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Yeah.
Try to schedule as much as possible, and then I'm at the venue on the weekends, so I'm actually running the Snapchat. I'm like running around the club like this. Like I'm the crazy girl with my cell phone. Like if you're at FLUXX, you'd probably see me like doing one of these like on stage.
I love that.
So that's me.
I love that.
Same for Facebook Live, Instagram stories. That's all me while we're in the club.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we'll have the DJs take over the Snapchat or the photographers. Like if I have to go out of town for a weekend, I'll try and coordinate with somebody else to do a
You mean
takeover or
they
something.
actually let you go? Like
Yeah,
you're
I
allowed to
know,
not
right?
be there?
It's it's only on those the real non-busy weekends. Like forget it for like Halloween, New Year's, anything like that.
Yeah.
Like no, good luck.
So then you're definitely going to be there for Too Short on Halloween, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. You're like,
Sure,
damn it.
it's my boy.
Yeah. So maybe you could be in the club with your phone and the whistle. And you're just like, hey, I got to
Right.
get this.
Exactly. Yeah, you'll definitely see me on stage for sure.
Okay, wait. And so what are you using to actually schedule everything?
So for Facebook, I just use our Facebook scheduler, and
Mm-hmm.
then for Instagram, I use a program called Schedugram,
Okay.
and that it costs I want to say $10 a month, and then you basically it schedules your post and it posts for you.
Okay. And you like
So
it.
I love it. It's
You love
like
it.
it saves my life. So there's that, and then I use Hootsuite for Twitter.
Yeah. See, I've been a long time Hootsuite user. Gosh, I don't even want to say how long. But I'm starting to learn Sprout Social now, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, keep me posted on that. I've heard a lot about Sprout Social, so
Yeah.
let me know how that goes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So then what's your favorite social media platform right now? Like what's yours? What's
Like
your
me
go-to?
personally or
Yeah,
for Fluff?
for
So
you.
I mean, I think out of habit, mine is definitely Instagram.
Yeah.
I just wake up in the morning and that's the first thing I go to. I
Yeah.
just like look at all the notifications and I'm like, now I'm stuck because then
Yeah.
I'm looking at pictures and videos. I mean, definitely like I love the photography and I love the storytelling that
Yeah.
Instagram offers right now. And then I'd say for FLUXX for the business side right now, Snapchat's definitely become my favorite.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I mean, Snapchat just, it lets us be a little bit more personable with everyone
Mhm.
and people are having more fun with it with our geo filters that we're making and just,
Are you overseeing the geo filters too?
oh, I'm actually making them.
You're making them.
Yeah. So
God. Okay.
I don't do a lot of creative design, but I'm very amateur, but I do get to make the geo filters, which is like my little pride and joy. And it's so much fun. I love making them different each week and then watching people use them and like,
You're
I'm like snapping
amazing.
myself, like check out my geo filters.
So I guess okay. So I guess that's like one of the other things that people don't really realize about social media is that you have to be very talented. Like you have to know how to write copy, you know how to know how
Right.
social works. And sometimes you just have to be scrappy and roll up your sleeves and get stuff done, right?
Right. Like I basically learned how to do it from a YouTube video. Like one day
Yes.
I was just like tired of going back and forth with the designers every single week over
Yeah.
something as simple as a geo filter, to where
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? Like I can probably do this. So then I
Yeah.
just YouTubed it, figured it out, did a few test runs, and then I was like, I got a geo filter.
You're
And
like,
then
drop the mic, boom, I got this.
exactly. Like I
You're
like
like, boy,
literally
bye,
texted
thank
my
you, I got
creative
it.
designer and I was like, how does this look? Would you run this? Does this look good? And he was
Yeah.
like, yeah, no, that's great. And I was like, I got the fire emoji actually.
Yeah.
That's when I knew it was gold. I was like, we're good.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
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 it's one of those things too. When I was working in the agency world, and they're just like, okay, you know, what can you do, and blah blah blah. And it was one of those things where I never really liked having to go to the creative team, love you creative team, but
right.
it was just always a process. And if I ever needed something done, then I'd have to go to the account manager to beg the project manager to then like fit it in these deadlines and especially with what you do, your turnaround time is so quick. I mean, when you have
Yeah,
like a new act coming up Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's not like here's a request and then you wait another day to hear back if whether or not they could fit it in their timeline. Yeah.
right. There's a lot of really last minute turnaround times and deadlines when it comes to these artists. So I have tried to build a very good relationship with our designers to where it's like I need something super last minute. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm bringing you burritos for lunch.
Oh,
Do you need beer? Do you need anything else? Like,
yeah.
what can I get you? Just make
Oh,
this magic happen. So
I love
I
it.
definitely like but like, sometimes you just feel like you're being annoying. When you ask for so many
Yeah.
things, you're like, okay, I can figure this out.
Yeah,
I can do
especially if it's
this.
something easy. You're like,
Right.
gosh, do I really have to send an email to ask you to fix this just a little bit or change a word? I hear you. Okay, so I think I already asked you this maybe yesterday, maybe not now, but so you have one assistant? That's it?
Yeah, so I have one assistant that's like dedicated to me, and then we have another office assistant. He's also an up and coming rapper, so he helps me actually a lot with finding content on our up and coming artists
Oh,
or
yeah?
any artists that are coming into FLUXX. That's like one thing he's always real solid with helping me with because I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, you know the rap game. Am I wording this correctly?
Wait, wait,
Like,
wait. You have to tell the story about Snoop.
okay. So funny. I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this, but when Snoop Dogg celebrated his birthday here last year, I was specifically told that we were not allowed to use any abbreviations for birthday in our posts. So no B day, nothing like that. Birthday had to be spelled out fully because Snoop Dogg is a Crip and not a Blood,
Wait.
and B-Day is a Bloods term, and he uses the term C-Day for the Crips.
Yeah.
So very important. Don't use the B-Day abbreviation.
So were you like telling all the flux boxes like this is what you can and what you can't say for Snoop's birthday or C Day? Sorry, my bad. My bad.
Right. Exactly. Like, ladies, step up your street game.
That is hilarious. Okay, so let's talk about like all of like your promoters, your dancers, all of that. How do you keep them all in check with what they can and what they can't share on social media?
So we definitely, I send out weekly emails where it sort of tells everyone about the artists that are coming up, and it'll normally have like links to some of their videos or links to pictures or links
Yeah.
to posts that we want them to share. And then, it'll sort of have any stipulations like underneath that. Like, hey guys, just a heads up, we can't use these terms while we're promoting, or don't
Yeah.
use performance or live performance, try to use these words instead. So we try to be pretty lenient with what people can and can't post. It's just
Yeah.
some artists have certain stipulations or they want it to be known that it's their official concert after party or different
Oh,
things like that we just have to make sure that when we're promoting it's the exact way they want
got it. Yeah, that's a lot of work. I was wondering if you had like a mass text message where you're like group text,
it.
copy
It is. Well,
paste.
I mean, not for the staff because we have about 70 people on staff,
Yeah.
so group text would be a little bit much,
Oh,
but we
that's true.
definitely have like a group chain and then a Facebook group that
Oh,
helps.
that's
So
nice.
yeah,
That's cool. And then, so does your virtual assistant, or I'm not your virtual assistant, I have a virtual assistant. um, does he help you curate a lot of stuff that happens on Instagram? Like, are you repurposing other people's stuff, or are you just usually working with what the photographer and what you take?
we normally work with our photographer and what we take, and then pretty much for all of our artists, we make sure that we get at least a recap video or something like that. That way we can use it for the next time that they come.
Yeah.
So like someone like Too Short, he's been coming to FLUXX for like the past 7 years.
Yeah.
So for him, I don't really have to curate content because we have so much of it
Oh,
already.
that's good. That's
So
nice.
I would say it's more for new artists. Like last week we had Schoolboy Q on Saturday.
Yeah.
Sorry, I keep getting these like notifications that are popping up.
I
I'm not
know.
sure.
I do too. Like, I have. Sorry. it's I did like my Facebook Live a couple days or a couple weeks ago. And then as soon as my friends and my family found out, they started texting me. They're like, "Oh my gosh!" I'm like, "Stop that!"
I
So
know, right?
people are funny. People are funny. But go ahead. Go ahead.
So, anyways, yeah, we had Schoolboy Q last week, so that was his first time at FLUXX. So we had to go back and sort of, yeah, grab a few pictures from his Instagram and try and use those for promotion.
Yeah.
I really try not to do that too much and really try to just use like the FLUXX material.
Yeah.
But like I said, some of them we just don't have it yet, so we'll kind of work with what we're given. I'll try and use either like the press pictures that the artist sends me before I try and use any other pictures.
Yeah.
And then the videos are always great too. Anything we sort of have permission to use.
And then, so you're not curating anything that anyone takes at the clubs?
Um, Not
No.
really. If we find good quality
Which is
images
kind of
or
hard. Which is
videos,
kind of hard.
I
I'll be
know, because
honest.
that's the thing. Is like a lot of times when people are in the club, they've like had one too many drinks, and the phone's like this, or
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
like a half selfie or something. Like
Yeah.
we try.
You're like, I maybe no, no, never mind.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. Let's see. So where do you see the most engagement from your fans right now? Like if anyone really wanted to get on like your good side, like, oh my gosh, this person's been liking every single thing. Like how do they get your attention that way?
I would say right now people are being the most engaged with Snapchat.
Yeah.
So they're constantly responding to our stories or just shooting us snap videos. Like I get selfie snaps all the time from
Do you
people.
really?
And I'm like, you realize you sent this to FLUXX, right? But
Wait,
I'm
is
gonna still
that
watch it.
I mean, are they girls? Are they guys? Or are they both? Like what kind of
Both. Both. It's
really?
hilarious. I get snaps of people like before they come to the club, pre gaming, and I'm like, yeah, turn up, let's go. And
I love
then
that. Oh my god, your phone must be blowing up all the time. Do you have your own phone or I mean, do you
no,
use
it's
like your one phone or you have two phones?
it's my phone and it blows up all the time.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's really funny though. And then like ticket giveaways, they like Snapchat's been blowing up. It's been great, and that's like so like one of the highlights for my Snapchat was when we had DJ Khaled back in May.
Yeah.
So he,
Wait, you're all like DJ Khaled?
I know, right? I was
Excuse me.
like Snapchat King, yes, like, and
Wait, did he
he
share
came
any like
in
any like tricks
and
with you?
he actually took a snap of me, no big deal, and then he used my geo filter, which made me even more
You're
happy.
like, I'm putting this in the binder right now.
Oh,
This in my
oh yeah,
binder.
it's in the binder. But the best part is it got us 12.5 million views and we spent $5.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I was like, DJ Khaled, you are my boy.
Yeah, that's
Love you
awesome.
forever.
That and was it your geofilter that you designed?
That one wasn't. That was one of our first ones when we just started getting into the Snapchat game. So
Yeah.
our designer designed it. I basically told him what I wanted and then he gave it back to me. And I think that one was the turning point where I realized, like, okay, this is a simple image. Like, I can
Yeah.
totally do this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just so excited. It was one of the best nights ever. And it was the after party for the Beyonce concert. So I had
Oh,
like just seen Beyonce and then had that happen with DJ Khaled. So I was like on
Dad.
cloud nine.
Ah, I
It
saw
was
her. What
amazing.
was this in May?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
amazing.
cause he had opened up for her. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
formation. So it was
Oh my
amazing.
God, whoa, love her.
Yeah.
Okay, so Katarina is asking, relative to the other clubs in the area, Omnia Park, etc. How does FLUXX differentiate yourself from competitors?
So, I mean, we kind of talked about this yesterday. One of the things that I think that we really have to our advantage is the fact that FLUXX has been around for 7 years. So
God,
we
has it really been 7 years? I
have,
remember when
yeah,
it just came and I was like, oh, this is the new place, and
right.
wow, 7 years. Okay.
I know, yeah. So I mean, being one of the older clubs, we kind of have that to our advantage because a lot of people say FLUXX feels like home. Like
Yeah.
we really try to like hone in on the FLUXX fam and like making our clients feel like family. So whether that sort of having birthday messages like tailored for them, creating custom deal filters for
Yeah.
them, like on a night that they want to come in, um, having things just sort of going above and beyond for people because
Yeah.
we know them a little bit more and have that connection with them. And I think that that's one of the things that we have a very strong staff, and I mean the staff is pretty well known, so that
Yeah.
definitely helps drive people in, and everyone wants to come see them, and they definitely like go along with everything we do, like all of our crazy parties and crazy events. They like, there's never anybody that just, that tries to fight it. Everyone is just like game on. Like, what are we wearing? What are we doing? Let's throw the
Yeah.
best party in town. Like, it's just always a fun party. Always.
Yeah. And I feel like you're always switching it up too. Like I was watching your snaps with the whole Mindflux stuff and I was like, "What?" I
Yeah.
was like, "Katrina, you need to be there with your fire fans and all that stuff."
Right.
Okay. Cool. So, we got about 2 minutes left, but I love that everyone's asking all these questions.
I know, right?
Um so Sivar's asking, whoop. Dun, 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 dun. Sivar's asking, what is FLUXX's plans to innovate, expand, and grow in a very competitive industry?
So, I mean, right now we've just sort of been trying to do different things like that Star Wars party and the Lucha Libre, and we've been
Mm-hmm.
doing fashion shows and just trying to sort of expand and do different events rather than just nightclub all the time.
Yeah.
We sort of just worked out a little partnership with Striders, which is downtown. It's a sports bar. So
That's
we've
right.
been teaming up with them to sort of like do some cross promotions and drive business over there during the restaurant hours and then over here for nightclub hours.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Still just booking the best entertainment around. So continuing to have like the relevant, hottest artists and
Yeah.
the up and coming artists and just keeping our name out there. And I mean, we're always trying to do community events to where we're just out there all the time, like reaching people, reaching new
Yeah.
people. Like, I mean, I moved to San Diego probably 2.5 years ago. So for people, I mean, San Diego's a huge transplant city. So even though we've been here for 7 years, not
Yeah.
everybody around here has.
Oh my
So
God.
it's like we always have fresh clients coming in. Like
Yeah.
there's always people coming up being like, "Oh my God, I've heard so much about FLUXX." So
Right?
it's like it's definitely I don't think we're going anywhere. We're not
Yeah.
phasing out by any
No,
means.
I
So we're still
agree.
here and going strong, and we're going to continue to throw some of the wildest parties around.
I love it. Yeah, I love
Yeah,
it whenever I go to conferences here in San Diego and someone's not from San Diego and they're
right.
just like, "Oh, I'm just like, welcome to my hood. Welcome to SG. This is where you gotta go. Hit up
Exactly.
FLUXX, hit up
Exactly.
Savannah, send her a Snapchat, say hey."
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. Do it.
Okay, so one last question because I know
Okay.
you got to do what you got to do and I got to do what I have to do. But I love Rob's question. He says, "How does Savannah decompress so that she can come back with fresh thinking?" Because girl, you said you work 6 days a week. So
Right.
how do you come back refreshed and ready to go for like hit it hard for like another week?
So I'm actually a pretty big hiker. I love hiking. Being that we're in San Diego, it's always nice out. So I try and plan either a little road trip or some sort of a trip or at least go hiking probably every other week. Like I
Yeah?
normally try and take like a Sunday at least and make that my day. And
That's
Sunday is
good.
like whether it's hiking or hanging out at the beach or just doing something outdoors. Like the outdoors are definitely my calming place.
Mhm.
So
Plus
just
it's San
being out
Diego.
there.
You have to.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean there's nothing better than just like sitting on the top of Iron Mountain and just drinking a
Yes.
cold beer and like
And
nobody's
a cold beer.
around. Oh yeah, because come on, we're in San Diego. You got to bring a craft
That's
beer with
very
you.
true. That's very true.
If you haven't done it, try it.
Wait, what's your favorite craft beer?
My favorite? Oh man. Um, right now I'm kind of hooked on the Heller High Watermelon for like a
Mm-hmm.
daytime beer. And then, I mean, one of my favorites is definitely the Belching Beaver, the peanut butter milk stout.
Okay. So, anyone that's interested in working over at FLUXX, this is what you got to do. You got to have the binders, the dividers, the
Great.
post-its, and the craft beer. She basically just gave you everything. You now know
Everything.
everything about Savanna, how she's killing it over at FLUXX. Give this girl some props because that's a lot to do and go. I don't know if you guys even noticed, but she has a throne behind her. Look. Look at her throne. Okay. All right, Boo. That's should we check the feed one more time, see if there's any more questions here?
All right. Yeah, that sounds
I think Savara is just kind of like freaking out.
good.
It'll be fun to watch the replay, but
Definitely.
let's see here. That's it. I think we got all the questions. I think that's
Cool.
good. All right, Boo. Well, we'll have to
All
do
right.
this again. Wait. Tell us what's going on for the rest of the month. October.
Okay.
Go.
So next weekend we have Halloween. So it kicks off Friday night. We'll have Mind Flux happening from 10:30 to 11:30.
Yep.
And then after that, we have DJ Bamboozle. And then Saturday, there's Monster Bash going on. We're the official Monster Bash after party with Too Short.
Yep.
And then we are open Sunday morning from 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. It's a zombie themed morning party for
I
anybody.
was like, people are going to be zombies.
Yeah, it's nuts.
That's
So
hilarious.
there's that. And then for November, we'll have some good entertainment coming up. Unfortunately, they haven't been announced yet, so I
Sure.
can't tell you. But
Mm-hmm.
stay tuned on our Snapchat so that
I
way you
know,
can
right?
find out.
I think your Snapchat's gonna blow up.
Oh,
I,
yeah.
I think after this, everyone's just like, oh, I need to send her a message. All
Yeah.
right, Boo. Well, thank you so much for hanging out. This was a ton of fun.
Yes.
You are kicking butt with FLUXX. I'm very excited to see what's happening. I'm gonna have to drag my husband out to go to Mind FLUXX for sure. But yeah, but no, really, the Star Wars stuff. Let me know.
Yes. For sure. I'll keep you posted.
All right, okay. I'm gonna stop streaming now. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.